Sarnia, Lambton today for Wednesday, October 15th. Good evening, I'm Marlon Gomez. The Inn of the Good Shepherd's affordable housing project, which was previously refused by Sarnia City Council, is back on the agenda. It has been revised and it is now part of the settlement negotiations. And here to discuss the new proposal and the ongoing need for affordable housing is Myles Vanni, the Executive Director of the Inn of the Good Shepherd. Myles, thank you for being here.
Good evening. Thank you for having me onto the show.
Yeah, no, anytime. And can we start with the revised proposal? So, can you guide us on what led to the decision to revise the initial proposal?
Well, at the original City Council meeting in March, where we proposed a rezoning change so that we could put up the project, there were concerns expressed from a planning perspective from the city around the intensification, too much of a build on the property. Okay. It was too dense. And also concerns around parking and was there enough parking. So we've addressed that in our settlement. We've appealed the decision through the Land Tribunal of Ontario. And part of that process now is we're trying to work out a settlement. Okay, what's the give and take from each side to be able to see if we can move the project forward. So part of our original design was a 6-story apartment building plus a strip of 6 townhouses. And that went along kind of, it was an L-shaped property. So we've offered to remove those townhouses that would allow for more green space, you know, maybe some landscaped area, a bit of parkland or something, play area or such for the neighbors. So that's what we're proposing, is we can take down the intensity of the build by removing those townhouses. And
let's talk about the need for affordable housing. We were talking about this before the show, and I guess specifically for anybody watching, who this may not be obvious to you, but can you please let them know, how will this address that need for affordable housing? Like, what type of affordable housing are we talking about?
Certainly. Well, what we're really trying to do is, like most communities in the province, deal with about a 20-year period of neglect for housing. About 20, 25 years ago, both federal and provincial governments stopped building affordable housing. Our community's populations were growing, and the gap, the income gap between households was widening. So there was more need for affordable housing, but it just wasn't being built. It also, a couple of other factors were taking place at that time. The provincial government slashed social assistance rates for people on disability or Ontario Works. They're getting less now than what they got 20 years ago. And so those kinds of factors have led for a greater need. So we're proposing an affordable build, affordable housing. There's a number of types of housing that are needed to help fill this gap. There's supportive housing, there's transitional housing, and then there's affordable housing. All try to address the affordability aspect, but the others have some extra supports or services. So supportive housing, kind of like what Endwell is proposing, is really geared to give people the supports to overcome addictions, mental health issues, to support them in housing at affordable cost. And transitional housing is helping people learn life skills to stabilize their housing. But we're really focusing on affordable housing. We've all heard people say, we know somebody whose adult child is still living at home because they can't afford $1,500 a month in rent. We see scenarios like that. People on a disability, seniors, people with families. It's hard to afford the cost of today's living.